Okay, hello everybody, hello again. Today I have a special guest, my mom, and I'm going to give her an interview like I have done with some of you guys. But she's a native English speaker, obviously, so I think we'll be able to get some good, interesting answers. So,
Hopefully.
Mom, have you ever been on YouTube?
Nope, never.
She's gonna be a star. Okay. So, you've seen some of the videos that I do with my subscribers. I ask them
Yes.
questions about life and just trying to figure out how other people think and feel. So I'm gonna ask you some questions like that.
Okay.
So I like to start out with some positivity. What is something that you're very grateful for in your life?
My children and my grandchildren.
Okay. So your grandchildren and your children, hijos, nietos. What is something other than your children and your grandchildren that make you happy?
Let me think about that for a minute.
Could be something very little, a good food, a drink you like, pretty flowers.
Yes, lilacs.
Lilacs, okay.
Yes.
This is a lilac, and they're beautiful, and I like them a lot too. Now that she told me about them, we have a plant out back that I got her for Mother's Day, and it's a beautiful flower, and it smells very nice. Okay, so pretty flowers make you happy and make you feel good. What's something that makes you mad?
Dishonesty.
Okay, dishonesty, people who lie.
Yes,
Okay, and why does that upset you?
because it's not the truth.
So the truth is something that's very important to you?
Yes. I
Okay,
don't like liars.
all right. So this one I really like. I like to ask people this one. What is your biggest fear?
I don't really... Bugs.
Bugs?
I don't really have a fear other than that.
What about airplanes?
I'll never get on another one, but I'd be fearful if I were on one, but I'm not afraid of them in general.
So,
Had a bad experience.
so bugs?
Yes.
When you see a bug, you feel fear?
If it's close up, yes. But I have to be brave for my grandson and kill it anyway.
Because my son is also scared of bugs. Probably because of her.
I've never let him know that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I tell him it's just a bug, show me where it is, and we get it. Most of the time we catch it and let it back outside.
So nice. Okay, so whenever I'm talking to somebody, I ask them if they are proud to be from the country they are from. So are you proud to be a citizen of the United States?
I am.
Okay.
I can't imagine being in another country.
And what is it that you like about the United States? What do you think?
Freedom.
Freedom? Okay, libertad.
I think a lot of countries don't have the freedoms that we have, and I can't imagine not having freedom.
Okay. What is something that you do not like about the United States?
Politics.
Yeah, the politics are toxic here. Toxic. Family members fight. There's children and parents who haven't spoken in years over Donald Trump, Joe Biden, these politicians. These politicians do not know these people. They don't care about these people, and people are losing friends and family over politicians.
I would never fight over politics or religion.
And the worst thing
Never.
is these politicians talk and talk and talk. Half the time they don't even care about the things they're talking
No,
about.
they
So
don't.
never ever fight over politics. That is stupid, I think. Okay, so the politics here. So what year were you born?
1959.
1959. Okay, so what is something that was different about this country back when you were growing up and now?
Family.
What? How so?
Communicated more, sat down to dinner at the dinner table every single night. Church. just a very wholesome upbringing in that time.
It's sad that I think a lot of families are not like that anymore.
I know, they're not.
But, you know, a lot of the people who I talk to in these other countries, they still are like that.
Oh, good.
They still are like that. And
Good.
they're very close with their families. And, you know, sometimes when you don't have a lot of other things, you hold on tight
Yep.
to that family and those important things. And I think we need more of that here for sure.
I do too.
So that's why I try and stay so tight with Connor.
Yeah.
And
You regret it if you don't.
definitely. Okay. Was it a lot safer back then too?
Oh yeah, you didn't even have to lock your doors. You could sleep with the doors open and the screen, and it didn't even have to be locked.
So she's saying that you could sleep with the front door, la puerta de tu casa, open, okay, without locking it, because it was so safe you did not have to worry, preocupar, for somebody entering your house. That's
Never.
crazy
Never.
to think that now. You would never do that now.
Nope.
And for example, Connor's 8 years old. He's going to be 8 years old. My son tiene 8 años. I would never let him walk around outside by himself.
Nope.
But back then, you could, right?
We ran the streets with our bicycles and my dog Midnight, and we did not have to come home until dark. When the street lights came on, you got home and you knew you were going to wash up and have dinner with your family. So it's very, very safe. And that was in Gary, which 15 years later was declared the murder capital of the world. So it really, really changed.
So I've talked a little bit about Gary, and I've shown you guys in a couple of videos about Gary, and it's a very dangerous city. Very dangerous. Not a good place to be. But she grew up there, and it was safe. It was a safe place where people raised their families. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up going to church, right?
Yes.
And my grandpa, mi abuelo, he was a pastor for some time? Preacher?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he, did he do that for a long time?
He had a congregation. He did it for probably 5 years.
Okay, so was that important for you growing up, church and religion?
Yes, we were in church 3 days a week, sometimes more.
Do you still consider yourself to be religious?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have faith. I believe.
Okay, and this is another one that I like to ask. What is God? It's a hard one.
Yeah,
Deep.
yeah.
But I like to hear, everybody has a different thought about it, so I like to hear what other people think.
Forgiving, hope, dreams, and eternal life.
Okay. So you don't think it's an old man with a beard?
No, I do not. No.
I don't either. I think that it's something inside of us, inside of every person, brings us all together, and it's all the good things. When I see Connor smile, that's it. You know,
Yeah.
when you love somebody so much that you would never hurt them, that's God.
The laughter.
Laughter, definitely. Yeah. So the opposite of God, we would say the devil or Satan. Do you think that that's a real thing, or is that just the bad?
I think it's, he was an angel, is what I grew up learning in Sunday school, that he was an angel cast out.
Yeah, I don't think Satan is a
No.
monster with horns either. To me,
No.
it's just
Or
the
a tail.
opposite. Yeah, I think it's just all the evil in the world.
Yeah, I think it's evil spirits. I don't think it's actually, any one thing. I think it's just evil on top of evil.
Okay, so what do you think happens after you die?
Well, I know a lot of people think that your people who passed are looking down on you, but we were raised to believe the Bible, the King James Version. I don't believe your soul is buried with you. I do feel like I have felt a soul leave on the people that I've been with that have passed. But
That's
whether
their
it went to heaven
life
or not,
force.
yes, for just a second, yeah.
So you think that we all have something inside of us that is not part of this body
Yes, I
that
do.
goes on?
Yes, that's just my opinion.
Oh, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and everybody's got a different one.
Yep.
I've heard some people say that nothing happens, you're just gone. Some people think what you think. Some people think you go to heaven or to hell. Some people think you turn into a ghost. No, nobody knows.
Yes.
But we can't judge other people
No, we
because who's
can't.
to say what we think is
and
right?
that's why I will never argue religion, because you're entitled to your beliefs.
You're gonna feel real silly if you turn into a ghost and that person was right and you judged them. So, talking about ghosts, do you believe in any type of paranormal things?
No. I don't.
You don't think there's any type of spirits that could be around that could somehow move something or affect
No.
us? No?
No, I believe there's evil spirits and evilness that, you could fall into, not literally fall into, but you can do wrong and that evilness just breeds in you, but I don't believe
I think,
that.
so how do you think evil people become evil?
Sometimes pressure, your peers are trying to talk you into doing wrong things, and then it just has to keep getting worse and worse, I would think.
I think it's
But,
the choices when you make that first bad choice.
Yeah.
Either you feel bad about it and you stop,
yes,
or you keep going and you do a little bit
Exactly.
worse,
No
a little bit
conscience.
worse, a little bit worse, and then you keep going. That's how you become
Yeah.
a bad person.
exactly.
No matter whether you think there's a lot of spiritual things going on, our brains also they make these patterns and they become habits. So if you've been doing bad things, that's a habit in your head. You
Exactly.
can't just stop a habit, you have to break it
You do.
and work on it.
Strong will.
Speaking of habits, do you have any bad habits?
Well, I don't curse, I don't smoke, I don't drink, so I don't have any of those bad habits. I don't lie, I don't steal, I'm not perfect. Probably I could say I'm not active enough, but I'm not able to be active enough, so I think that that's a bad habit, and I'm neurotic about things. Hard to let go of some things, but
What does neurotic
I'm learning. It means very picky, very set in your ways, that you want something to be and then it isn't, and then you have to, you just have to ease into stuff like that.
I think you gave me that too, so thanks. Thanks a lot.
It's a good thing if you don't, get too obsessed with it.
Yeah. It's good to want things your way, but you have to accept that you
Yes,
can't
you
make
do.
other people do it.
Yes, you do. Because they're entitled not to, just like you're entitled to want them to.
So you said you're not able to be active. Why is that?
Well, two drunk drivers sidelined my life when I had just turned 21. And so I had a lot of surgeries and a lot of hospitalization and a lot of not being able to do things, and I just have never been the same since.
So what she's saying is there were two people driving. Okay, so two guys were driving trucks, camiones,
Drunk.
and they were drunk. They drank alcohol and they were driving, and they crashed into her. Two different people.
One was asleep.
One guy fell asleep.
And then while I was waiting for the dust to settle, another one came from the other direction and hit into my door,
And both these guys were drunk.
both.
How crazy is that? What are the odds?
Yeah. That's where I believe I had a guardian angel, because I should have been dead. They said I would never, first of all, they didn't know if I was going to live, and then they didn't know if I was going to be able to ever walk again or keep my leg and have a normal life, and they were wrong about everything, because I was stubborn and I was going to get out of that hospital. I wasn't going to be in there for months like they thought.
How long were you in the hospital for?
Well, they said months, but I was in about 3 weeks.
Okay. Do you think that everything that happens in our lives happens for a reason? Or is it all coincidence?
I do, because I was partying a lot, and I was out late. I wasn't drunk and I wasn't high on drugs, but it was in my life then, and I believe it was a wake-up call. And it woke me.
What did you learn from that experience?
Oh, I learned, well, I don't trust drivers, first of all, but I learned that I can do more than I ever thought I could, and I believe it made a big impact on me.
Okay. Was that the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Now, think about it and tell me something good that came from it.
Well, the first guy that hit me, I finally, when I was out of the hospital and done with a couple of the surgeries, I went to the police station to get the pictures of my dilapidated car, and they told me that the man who was asleep at the wheel had arm's length of driving offenses, drunk driving, trouble, and after that accident, nothing. And this was 5 years later.
So maybe he turned his life around?
Yes.
So something good came from that,
Yes,
because
it did.
maybe that man changed his life.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
did come and apologize to me. He found out where we lived from the police report and come and apologize.
Really? Did you accept his apology?
I did, and I went to lunch with him.
Really? How was that?
Awkward, but
Do you think he was a bad man, or?
no. I think he probably had a bad life and was drinking it away and partying it away and just drunk as a skunk and asleep at the wheel.
That would take a lot of courage to come and find you.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
No. So how could I not forgive that?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't forgive what he did, but I forgave him from then on.
Do you think forgiveness is important, to forgive the
Yes, I
people who
do.
hurt us?
Yes, absolutely. To move on from it. You don't have to keep them in your life when they wrong you, but for your own good, I think that you should forgive just for yourself, not for that person. But it's good when you could do both.
Yeah. Because when you hate somebody,
Oh, it eats you alive.
that's like drinking poison and expecting them to die. It doesn't hurt them at all.
Nope.
It only hurts you from the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long were you married to my dad?
Would be 35 years in December.
Okay.
But we were together for 5 or 6 years before then.
So 40 years almost together?
Over about 41 years.
What was it like to be married for that long with one person?
Normal, because that's what I had in life, you know, growing up. My parents stayed together until I was 15, so I couldn't see it any other way, and I never want to date again or any of that stuff. It cured me. I just can't imagine with this world like it is,
Yeah.
you know, finding another person. No, thank you.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll run into some good person one
You
day if
never
you
know.
decide to.
Yeah.
Because like you said, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
But if that's not important to you, you just enjoy your life, and if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. But he was a good man until he got troubled with what his upbringing was. But it was a lot of good years.
What did you like about him when you guys met?
Oh, just about everything. Courteous and honest, and always thinking about, of course, he always thought about me even to the end, but it got, you know, different. But It was good for a long, long time.
You know, it's kind of sad because I can't picture him that way.
I know.
Now, I know when I was young, he was a good dad. He was involved
Yeah.
with me. We were always doing stuff, but
Very good.
that's not the memories that you hold
I
on
know.
to. So,
I know.
um,
That's when you got to try to put away the bad ones and remember the good ones.
Yeah.
That's what I have to try to do. When my parents split and my dad started drinking too, and that's when he quit being a minister. And so, you know, it just changes people.
I haven't had to deal with a lot of death in my life yet, but in this last year, I lost Dad and my best friend. So it was strange. You know, even though me and Dad weren't close, it was just weird. Weird thinking that he's not in this world anymore.
I
How did
know.
you feel when he passed?
The same. Just every morning when I was waking up in that twilight sleep, I thought I was out in the living room watching TV, and then you wake up, you know, and you rationalize that they're gone. So, yeah, I've had a lot of death in my life. So I can't say that I'm used to it, but I can deal with it.
Is there anything you would have done differently in your marriage? Because, you know, that's something I'm trying to learn is we can't just blame the other person.
You have to figure out what you might be doing wrong, that you're allowing that wrong. And I don't know that some people ever figure that out, but it's good when you can.
So was there anything you would change that you could think of on your end?
I can't think of a lot right now because it's only been 8 months.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. And so I can't think of, you know, what I would go back and change right now. But I'm sure there was a lot of things if I thought about it for a while.
Do you regret 40 years with him, or?
No. No, I don't, because it was really good and it got me 2 kids and a stepdaughter and a granddaughter and a grandson and a home. So I can't, you know, you have problems in every relationship, but, you know, you have some regrets, but I don't think I regret it.
That's good. Okay. So now we'll talk about something a little happier. Is there something you've never tried that you would like to try? An experience or whatever it might be?
I can't think of anything. I'm pretty content. I can't think of anything offhand that I would try. I just can't think of anything right now.
She is so hard, I can't buy her presents for her birthday because she already has all that she wants,
I'm easily pleased.
which is good. Do you think you're a happy person?
I think so.
How do you think anybody in general, people can be happier?
I think by having the right people around them and not listening to the garbage that may be going on around you, and rise above.
That's why I don't listen to news of any kind.
I
It's
don't
poison
either.
for your brain.
I don't either. I never have really got into the news.
You know, that's something that I think really was not good for Dad. He
Yeah.
watched so much news.
I know it. I told him that often.
And then he has these opinions that aren't even his.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about these people, but now he thinks he does because the news is brainwashing
It
you.
is.
It's propaganda, and it's hurting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
No, I've never watched it. We never listened to it in my house either. Not growing up.
Now, if you go out of your way to search for good news stories,
Yeah.
that's good for your brain.
That's what I think the news ought to be about.
So you have 2 children. How old is Kristen?
She is 30, 39, 34,
How old am I?
32.
No.
31. No, wait, 33.
Ni sabe, ni sabe. 33?
You're gonna be in August.
I'll be 32 in August.
32. You're 2 years apart.
Wow.
89 and 91.
Wow. Do you even know my birthday?
August 29. 28.
Oh, she's funny.
That was a joke. Where do you
my
think
heart
he gets
from
his
it.
sense of humor, his dry sense of humor from?
Okay, so you have a 34-year-old daughter and a 31-year-old son. What have you learned in 34 years of being a mother?
Patience and happiness.
Okay. What is your favorite thing about yourself? What do you think makes you interesting or a good person?
Let's see. Interesting or good? I think I'm a smart person. Not the smartest, but I think I know a lot about a lot of things. And I think I'm very patient, always have been. Always had to be, I think. Middle child. The middle child syndrome.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. You're very patient and kind.
That's how we were brought up. That was the standard. That's just what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And that carried over into my adulthood. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Okay, so between your two children, which one of us do you like more, me or my sister Kristen?
Neither.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me who's my favorite.
Who's your favorite?
You're my favorite boy. She's my favorite girl.
So between me and Kristen, which one of us do you think is smarter? Just tell the truth.
You're
You
both
say you don't
smart in
lie.
your own way.
No, tell the truth.
That's my answer. You're both smart in your own way.
I'd like to mention that I speak 4 languages,
Ooh.
trained in martial arts, avid reader.
I'm very proud of all of our children. Every single one of them are doing wonderful.
I think I'm smarter than her though.
Well,
Who's cooler? That's not even a contest. Come on.
I'm around you more.
Okay.
You're both cool.
Mm-hmm. If Kristen is watching this, she knows. All right, so to end this video, I always ask people, what is something you would say to the people watching? It could be a little piece of advice about whatever thing you want to say about how to enjoy life more, be a better person,
Live with no regrets.
live with no regrets.
That's what I say often, I remember. Live with no regrets.
Okay.
It's made you who you are, and if it's bad, you turn it around and you be proud of that.
Okay. Now I always end my videos in the same way. I want to teach you how to say something, okay?
Oh, okay.
And all it means is thank you guys so much for watching and we'll see you soon, okay?
Okay.
But in Spanish it's muchísimas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Muchísimas
Muchísimas
gracias
gracias
por ver
por ver.
y nos vemos
Vino?
pronto.
What?
Pronto.
Pronto.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. See you soon. This has been my mom, Sherry. I hope you guys are having a great day.